This is the Retirement Solution Podcast with financial advisor John Hicks, founder of J. Hagan Capital.
There are so many things that we just have in our mind and we assume that they're correct because we've heard them 100,000 times. We got to get rid of all those myths. If you've done a great job saving, you'd be surprised what you can accomplish when you use the right strategies. Most people just aren't aware of them.
You've worked hard your whole life to earn and save. Now you need a plan to make that money work hard for you.
So people that have sacrificed opportunities to spend money, they sacrificed by putting the money in that 401k. They've sacrificed by putting that money in a 529 college plan for their grandkids. Those types of sacrifices should go rewarded in the long run.
John is here to help you find solutions for your retirement.
Mr. Hicks, how are we today?
Pretty good for a Sunday.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. I got good sleep last night. It's not
good for you. Can you?
Yeah. We
need to talk about the dreams that I've been having, and if you have any kind of potion or lotion or motion in the ocean, because my dreams, I had a dream that I had to steal a bus, and I was backing it down some sort of 4-lane highway all around my head, just trying to figure out how I was going to unload the bus. This is what happens.
That sounds like a Speed sequel with Keanu Reeves. There was a bus.
There was a bus.
Was Sandra Bullock in that
too?
Yes,
it had a bomb on it, and if they slowed down below 55, it would blow up. I didn't have a bomb on my bus. I just stole it and was backing it down the highway, trying to figure out how to unload it.
Well, that's interesting. I always tell my kids, hey, what you dream about, there's a great chance of that coming true.
Excellent. So when we talk next week, I'll be calling you from prison. I need you to bail me out because I apparently stole a bus. No.
There we go. It's funny when you think about, what dreams can, become in the future. Yeah. I remember hearing like Damon John, the founder of FUBU, he's on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, young guy. He's a lot younger than I thought he was. But he said, man, his dreams, he tries to make those dreams. He says a mantra to himself every night before he goes to sleep. And those dreams, he basically uses those kind of like visions. Now, he said, sometimes the color's a little different. Maybe I'm doing some stuff I shouldn't have done or whatever it is. But the point is that he uses those to channel his energy. And I remember thinking, even Bill Clinton, they asked him, why on earth did he think he became president?
Yeah.
He said, well, because I wrote it down in ink on a piece of paper and I dreamed about it consistently. And it's funny. So when you think about, can your dreams become a reality? Well, some people, there's at least 2 people. It depends on what level of success you think they have achieved in life. But President of the United States and one of the guys on Shark Tank, that's pretty good. So when you think about, though, those 2 people, they thought that their dreams meant something. So what does that mean about you, Heather?
I don't know.
Does that mean we're going to be bailing you out
conversation
sometime soon? I don't know. Well, because here's what I always dream about. Hey, what would it be like one day to not have to punch that time clock so that I can do the things that I want to do, to spend the time that I want with my family, my friends, traveling the places I want to go, eating the food I want to eat, seeing the things I didn't have, getting the culture and the experience that I didn't have growing up in Owensboro, Kentucky. I think I do typically dream about those.
Well, focusing on dreamers and believers and those who have built themselves a life based on a dream and a belief. It's Sunday after all. Football.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday.
So Sunday in the fall in America, of course, there's only one way to properly celebrate it. Wait, this might be in the Monday Night Football music.
No. It's still football. We all hear this. It's just like when you hear the Olympics music. It's very, thunderous. It's big band. It's done. Yeah, it's good.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about this story. NFL wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who had a very interesting and intelligent conversation. I did not realize he was talking about when he was going pro and choosing between teams. He had a choice between the New York Jets or the Miami Dolphins.
Oh.
And he actually almost chose New York. Here was his reasoning and thoughts behind it.
You know what? It was very close to happening, man. But it's just those state taxes, man. I realized, I had to make a grown-up decision. And, here I am in the great city of Miami. Great weather, great people. So here I am.
Just those state taxes, man.
Look at that.
Had to make a grown-up decision.
I love the fact he said, the great weather, the great people. That was third.
Yeah.
What was number 1 on that list?
Taxes. Well, doing the math,
love it.
He selected the Dolphins because it ended up saving him $2.7 million.
Darn straight. And that's just in SALT taxes.
That's right.
State and local taxes. Think about that, guys. So when you're thinking you could take your talents to the Big Apple in New York, All right, technically they play at the Meadows, which is in New Jersey, but fair enough.
Right.
Or the Meadowlands. Or you can go down to Miami. Some people maybe get a little bit too hot for.
Yeah.
But if there's a $2.7 million tax difference.
Suddenly the humidity is not so much of a problem.
That's right. You just put up with that. It's perfectly fine. You get over that real quickly. I know. So when you think about that, guys, that could be a big deal for every one of us. What about that tax involvement? Because this is Tyreek who's playing, right? Mm-hmm. When we retire, we potentially have the same issue. Now, his tax difference in this case was based on geography, right? There just happen to be different taxes in various states. But I think the majority of us, Heather, we don't really think about what that tax aspect is going to be in retirement.
Right.
But there was a class that I taught a few weeks ago now, and we specifically talk about retirement taxation and what it means to every one of us. Because not any of us have saved the exact same amount of money in the exact same buckets, right? Everyone has done a little something different.
Right.
Some of us get pensions. Some of us don't. But there was a couple that I actually ran into in this class, and we actually did their numbers. And this is something that we try to do for everyone that we can, especially take these courses. Mm-hmm. It's our total tax burden analysis when we do this, because most people think, well, I've got this amount of money, and here's the way it worked. Well, Heather, what we found out is that, number one, our biggest expense in all of retirement, whether that lasts for 15 years, 20, 25, heck, some people may last for 40 to 45 years. Mm-hmm. The largest expense that we're going to have in retirement is taxation. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, even though it doesn't feel like it right now, and I have asked this question of thousands of people now over the years, I've asked, hey, do you think we're in a high tax period right now or a low tax period? And I would say resoundingly, people say, John, I pay way too much in taxes. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But historically, when we look at it, we are coming off of some of the lowest tax rates we've seen since 1913, which is the very first year that we ever had taxes in this country. Wow. And that was a whopping 1% tax rate. How crazy is that?
Wow, yeah.
So there was a couple that had taken the class, and they had just retired. They lived in Crestwood, and we'll call them Mike and Becky. Okay. And Mike had a really awesome situation. So he was going to actually have a company pension when he retired. And they'd saved this money, but they needed to pull it out just a little bit for them to live off of every month in retirement. Okay. And when we looked through the numbers, it was staggering. Heather, when we did the analysis on this, and here's their situation. So they were 65 and 63 years of age. Yeah. He was going to have about $20,000 of a pension, which was okay. That plus her Social Security was okay, but they needed to pull some money out of their $700,000 of savings.
Okay.
Now, the good news is that they at least got a tax break when they put that money into his 401k. But unfortunately, all that money, when they pulled that money out, was going to be taxable. So we just ran the analysis, and we call this the total tax burden analysis for them. We showed that of that $700,000, if they lived to be 90 years old, they were going to pay over time. Heather, get this. They were going to pay $492,000 of taxes on that $700,000 account over the course of their retirement.
What?
Absolutely. And it's staggering, but this is why we do this math.
The savings
it absolutely is. And this is all that we ran it on.
Okay.
We assumed that they were just going to get a 5% rate of return over the years. Mm-hmm. They were just going to take out the required minimum distributions when they needed to. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty much it. After that, they were just going to let the money grow over time. What we found out is they were going to pay taxes on the RMDs of over $230,000. That was just going to be the 25% total tax rate on all those RMDs coming out over time. They were going to have growth taxes. They were going to have taxes for their heirs. And when you added all that up over time, about $492,000 of total taxes on a $700,000 account.
It's nuts. It's insane.
Isn't that unbelievable? I mean, it's almost unconscionable. So Tyreek Hill makes a decision because he doesn't want to pay taxes. But every one of us, guys, every one of us out here has this same decision based on how much money we've saved and where we've saved it. Yeah. If we have it in a tax-deferred account, that means a tax-liened account. Mm-hmm. And at some point in time, we're going to have to pay Uncle Sam. In this example, this couple, and this is very simple math, this couple is going to pay $492,000 in taxes on that account. Now, here's what we showed them. And this is the crazy thing about doing this analysis. Heather, we showed them a way where they could reduce that tax bill by almost 65%. We showed them that by doing a couple very shrewd things early in their retirement, their total tax bill would actually only be $175,000.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable. So even though, unfortunately, yes, we still have to pay Uncle Sam,
right,
this simple analysis, we were able to show them, and this is not complicated, guys, but this is one of the things we have to look at. They said, I don't want to give the government nearly $500,000 of
right,
what we saved. We don't want to do that.
Right.
And on top of that, how on earth do they deserve $500,000 off of only our $700,000 account over time?
Right.
And I agree. So what we were able to show them is a way to save about $317,000, and it has nothing to do with that 5% rate of return. It has nothing to do with the products they owned or anything. It simply had to do, where is that money located, and do they want to pay the least amount of taxes over their lifetime? They said yes. So we were able to show them the $300,000 savings. Guys, I see this stuff every single day, where it's not that we've done anything wrong. We haven't done anything bad. As a matter of fact, there are so many great savers out there that just are not aware of the opportunities to potentially pay half or only 30% of the taxes that are right now, the way they're going, there's no way to avoid them. But not only can we avoid them, we can ensure that our children and grandchildren don't have to pay taxes on that money too. By the way, Heather, right now I've only focused on the amount that they pay over time.
Yeah.
But what happens if they double tax rates? These clients will never have another dime in tax to pay, so they still pay nothing extra. What if they triple tax rates? This couple will never pay extra taxes again. That is how we exploit the system.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Solution Podcast with John Hicks. Begin the conversation about your savings plan with John and the team at J. Hagan Capital by visiting retirementsolutionradio.com. Be sure to listen to John's radio show, The Retirement Solution, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. on News Radio 840 WHAS.
J. Hagan Capital Inc. is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Hagan Capital Inc. is licensed in your state, please call 502-690-5635. J. Hagan Capital Inc. is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. It does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Jonathan Hicks, insurance license number 548962.